So what we're going to do here is use the mass of magnesium and of sulfur in a compound to figure out the empirical formula. And remember, empirical formula is the simplest whole number ratio. So we're going to try to get a whole number ratio, and it's going to be a mole ratio between magnesium and sulfur, not a mass ratio. So we got to get these masses and turn them into moles. So we're going to start with magnesium. We got 15.066 grams of magnesium. We want to convert that to moles, so we have to look on the periodic table, and we realize that 1 mole is equal to 24.3 grams. Do the math, and you end up with 0.620 moles. Now that's magnesium. And then we're going to do sulfur. We start with 19.902 grams of sulfur, and we want to convert that to moles. So we write 1 mole up here, look on the periodic table, 32.1 grams, 32.1 grams, equals, once again, 0.620 moles. Now hopefully you notice that these are the same thing. That, if you look at it, is actually a 1-to-1 ratio. Now let's imagine that you didn't notice that. It's pretty obvious, but let's pretend you didn't notice it. This is what you would do. Or even if you got different numbers, this is what you would do. You would take those amounts and write them down here next to the formula. Mg 0.620 moles, and it's bonding with sulfur, which is also 0.620 moles. Now that, again, it's a ratio. We know it's a 1-to-1, but it's not a whole number. So what do? You divide by the smallest. They both happen to be the same, so dividing by the smallest gets you the exact same thing we already predicted, and it turns into a 1-to-1 ratio. So I rewrite this as MGS, and there's my formula. So if you ever get different numbers, write them down here, divide through by the smallest, and get your whole numbers. If it doesn't come out to a whole number, then you have to tweak it a little bit, and I'll show you how in a future video.